Aaron Swartz, The Boy Who Could Change the World, The Writings of Aaron Swartz. Discover the thoughts and ideas of Aaron Swartz, the late activist and technologist, in our summary of The Boy Who Could Change the World. Delve into his views on the ethical sharing of information, the collaboration behind platforms like Wikipedia, the potential of technology in making collective judgments, and strategies to create political change. Understand Swartz's outlook on the importance of education systems that foster inquisitiveness and learning outside traditional schooling structures. Let this enlightening book guide you through the challenges of the digital age, the global quest for ethically handling information, and the pursuit of meaningful progress in society.
Information sharing and the Internet. The concept of sharing information freely and openly is shaped by technological advancements and ethical considerations. The Internet has provided a platform where people can work collaboratively to share ideas and information. Wikipedia, for example, has demonstrated that mass collaboration can lead to the generation of vast amounts of information. However, this openness can also lead to inaccuracies and difficulties in maintaining control. The open data movement is an important tool in exposing corruption and misdeeds. However, without follow-up, its impact can be limited. The fight against the proposed Stop Online Piracy Act demonstrated the power of collective action in mobilizing people to act against perceived injustices. In all these cases, ethical considerations play a central role in determining the best way to handle new technological developments. Improving the Internet. This book delves into several aspects of the Internet that need work to make it better. It argues that instead of re-engineering the web, we should focus on improving it incrementally. The author points out that developers should work on creating and marketing good quality products instead of releasing flawed versions of them early on. The book also addresses issues of digital rights, funding, piracy, and access. Compulsory licensing is one proposed solution to ensure that artists and creators get their due share of revenue. Additionally, the author emphasizes the importance of software in shaping what is possible. Code governs what we can and can't do in computer games and online communities. To improve interoperability, developers should follow Postal's law, be liberal in what you accept and conservative in what you put out. The book concludes by emphasizing the need for transparency and decentralization in the web. Overcoming obstacles to create political change. The path to political change in the U.S. is hindered by several factors, including conceptual misunderstandings about conservatism and the appeal of the center. The biggest obstacle, however, is the political system itself, which prioritizes the interests of the wealthy and makes it difficult for new measures to pass. While citizens can create change through urging new candidates to run for office and promoting campaign finance reform, reducing lobbyist influence and creating a balance between right and left is essential. The involvement of more citizens through community councils can also change the texture of politics. In the U.S., several factors determine an individual's ability to change politics. One of the most significant obstacles to political change is the prevalence of conceptual misunderstandings. For example, one common myth suggests that conservatism opposes government spending when, in reality, conservatives support government spending, albeit spending aligned with their objectives. Moreover, many people assume that the truth lies in the middle between two opposite positions. However, this is not necessarily the case. The political system itself poses the most significant barrier to creating political change in the U.S. Most people do not understand how the system works or how many obstacles exist to prevent change. Even if someone with fresh ideas and the desire to reform the system funds a campaign, they are unlikely to grasp how campaigns function. This is why candidates hire professionals, who charge huge amounts for their supposed expertise. Political campaigns are inefficient and build inflated prices into all costs. Moreover, elections happen infrequently and vary considerably, so feedback on performance is crude and delayed, making it difficult to improve. Once representatives are elected, they spend most of their time running for re-election and working on constituent concerns. Staff members, meanwhile, play a significant role in how legislation gets written and passed. Bills move through a series of modifications, with representatives changing the language to align with accepted legislative practices and altering their content via negotiation and amendments. The Speaker of the House controls which bills receive votes. Unfortunately, Congress has many veto points, making it difficult to pass legislation. To create political change, citizens can urge new people to run for office. Campaign finance reform is another area that has had some success, particularly with regulations that require politicians to approve the messages their supporters promulgate. Additionally, staffing ethics need to be enforced, and staff working for Congress should find their work more attractive to reduce the influence of lobbyists. Balancing the imbalance between right and left is also essential. Finally, community councils could change the texture of politics to involve more citizens. These councils can be a space where community members discuss community interests and make recommendations to elected officials. Inviting personal experiences and communal knowledge enables the moderators of these meetings to assess community interests more robustly and offer effective solutions and strategic recommendations to elected officials. The creation of more space for citizen involvement can begin to transform the broken, inert, power-based structure of politics. The illusion of objective journalism. The notion of objective journalism is a fallacy, according to the author. Historically, newspapers in the U.S. have always been partisan until the turn of the 20th century when the ideal of objective journalism emerged to appeal to a wider audience. The rise of think tanks and media strategies in recent decades, particularly on the right, has distorted how the media covers critical subjects such as global warming. The right began shaping a counterintelligentsia in the early 1970s, which has enjoyed significant success. They employ tactics such as sending blast faxes to push back on the media and redefine how journalists discuss topics, promoting conservative authorities on outlets such as Fox News, and providing talking points to the media. By doing so, conservative views are successfully propagated. Unraveling the downside of formal education. People's naturally inquisitive nature is hindered by the structure of formal education. Unschooled children who follow their own interests perform as well as their formally schooled counterparts, according to studies. From a young age, people possess an innate desire and ability to learn. However, traditional education systems often impede this natural inclination through rigid structures that impede curiosity. This often creates anxiety in students that persists through college, as demonstrated by Eric Mazur's research on physics students at Harvard. Mazur's findings revealed that students were not grasping concepts that their grades suggested they understood. This phenomenon applies to other disciplines, and the reason appears to trace back to the antiquated design of education for industrialization's requirements. The unschooling movement provides an alternative. Supporters of unschooling align their teaching methods with their state's homeschooling requirements, allowing children to pursue their interests rather than adhering to a given curriculum. This approach has been validated by studies that show unschooled children are as successful in life as formally schooled students. John Holt, an advocate for unschooling, asserts that children can learn more effectively outside the constraints of traditional education. In summary, formal education structures often curb the natural curiosity of individuals, which has adverse effects on learning. The unschooling movement provides an alternative approach that results in comparable success to traditionally schooled students.
In conclusion, The Boy Who Could Change the World takes you on a journey through the mind of Aaron Swartz, exploring transformative ideas in technology, internet ethics, and the global exchange of information. He fervently believed in the value of open information and collaboration, as exemplified by Wikipedia, and sought to address the multitude of challenges faced in the political arena. Through his work, Swartz stimulated conversations about the effects of different education systems on children's learning abilities, and the potential of unschooling. As you ponder his propositions and thought-provoking ideas, remember Swartz's legacy as a man who strived to change the world by harnessing the power of technology, the internet, and human potential.